been a long couple days. But before we get into my long fucking days, my lost packages. It's finally over. Praise Jesus, right? So I email Element of Fate. Big shout out to them because they really took care of me. And I tell them about the lost package. They say, well, we checked your tracking. It says it's still on its way. But since it's been so long, we'll give you a refund or we'll resend out your order. And I say, well, listen, if you have what I ordered and you have it in stock, I'd really like my stuff. Like, I've been waiting a long time for it. I said, if not, give me my money back. Whatever it takes, you know? So I also tell them, like, look, man, Better Trucks told me themselves that they lost it and that I got to get a hold of you and you got to get a hold of them to figure out how to take care of this. So they lost my stuff, I'm telling you. So I get an email back. We resent out your order. Here's your new tracking number. If your original order shows up, please refuse it. Fucking sweet. So I checked the new tracking. It's coming through the post office. How in the fuck does that work? The whole reason why I'm in this issue is because we can't send shit through the post office, right? Whatever. So I check it the next day. Tuesday or Wednesday morning, I check it, and it says it's on its way, and it'll be here Friday, Friday, the 23rd. And I thought, oh shit, they sent this stuff overnight. Yesterday, I get an email, says my order's been delivered. It was delivered to the home, and to the person, and R. Miller signed for it. So wait a minute, I'm R. Miller. I didn't sign for shit. So I go to the mailbox, open it up, there it is. So they lied. Like, so whoever put it in there lied, said I signed for it. I didn't sign for nothing. But I don't give a fuck. Thank you to that guy, because I got my stuff. I went in and I opened it up. Here's the mod right here. Alright, it's fucking sweet. The bag, 18, right? Not as cool as the original bag because it doesn't got that button where the thing slides out. You can catch it like a clip. Man, when that thing came out, I bought it. Oh, I love that mod. I would just play with the thing. It was awesome. Now we get into the reason I had a long day today. And it's not good. So it's like, ooh, today's a good news day. And then it went to shit. Like, real quick. Right? The reason I got these on is trying to block out some of the background noise. See if that helps any. So as you've seen in my last video, if you saw it, I have kittens. Well, I have a kitten in the house, and he is one of 5 kittens that a stray cat had that she brought to my house that we've been taking care of, right? Well, Gizmo's the one the kids loved. He's the little white and orange one. Took him to the vet, got the once over, made sure he was good and healthy. Took him in the house, you know, he's got flea meds, heart or worm medication, all the stuff. He's good. It's like $100-something, right? The vet gives him a clean bill of health. Then there's an orange cat that the old lady fell in love with. She loved this cat. And he really is a sweet cat. Like, you go outside to smoke, and he'll sit in your lap, come right to you, put him in your lap, and you pet him, and he lays down, and he goes to sleep, and he's purring the whole time you're petting him, and he just, if you hold him, he'll like rest his little head. Right, he's the sweetest little guy. She loved him. I said, well, alright, I'll make an appointment, which was for Monday, coming up. I'll make an appointment. We'll give him a once over, we'll bring him inside. But yesterday I'm walking, after I go to the mailbox to get my stuff, I'm all happy. I'm I'm walking up my stairs, and he's following me. And I looked down and said, you want to come inside? Well, I tried to bring him inside a week ago, and he shit everywhere. And I was like, no, put it back outside. Like, he had the diarrhea. Like, no, I'm just not going to work. I'm not cleaning up shit for days because of this guy. So anyway, I was like, you want to come inside and play? You know, your brother's in there. This guy wants to cut people off. Man, lucky bastard. So I bring him inside. I let him play for a little bit. I put him back outside. Then I go to leave to go pick up my son from school. I start the van. I think I remote started it. And it ran for 10 minutes or whatever, shut off. And then I go to leave. Because yesterday was cold. First day of fall, it was fucking cold. It was cold. Like yesterday was 80, the next day it's like 60. Like, what the fuck? Like today it's 60. Like, just because it's fall don't mean we gotta feel like it instantly. Shit. So I go outside, I'm like, babe, you gotta move the car or the big van so I can get my van out so I can go get Caleb from school. She's like, alright. I started and I hear this fucking belt shredded and they're just spinning, flopping, bam, bam, bam. What the fuck, right? So I pull back in, I take the other car, and I go pick up Caleb, and I go home, and I'm pulling out the shredded belt, and I'm, what the fuck, right? I run her to work, or no, she goes to work. I'm like, well, I gotta go grocery shopping, I gotta leave around 6 for work. So I'm, doing all the shit I gotta do. I get back from the grocery store, taking the groceries in. I see a little orange cat sitting over by our chairs on the front porch. And he just doesn't look right. What's the matter, buddy? He's like looking at me, but the way he's sitting wasn't right. I go over and pick him up. And his little front paw is just dangling. Like it's broken, like right here. Separated completely. Like the skin's intact, but I could just tell it wasn't right. His other paw on this side's got a big gash right here. Big gash. His little paw doesn't look good. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, that motherfucker got up inside my car and I started it and shredded it. I know it. I just know it. Right? Like, in my heart, I knew it. And I was like, man, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go to work. I gotta leave. Like, I don't have time to deal with this, right? I call the old lady. I'm like, dude, Pumpkin's messed up. I don't know if he got into something, if he was the reason my belt broke, if an animal got to him, I don't know, right? I just know he's in bad shape right now. And I'm like, I tell one of my older kids, I look outside, right? I'm like, listen, don't let your little brother go outside. I don't want him to see the kitten like that. I'm like, freak him out. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So I look out the window after I tell him this, while I'm on the phone with my old lady, and he is sitting down in one of the chairs, and he's got the kitten wrapped up in these towels that I use for work. These white towels, we had some outside. Like, he just looks so sad. Like, the whole scenario just horrible. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to do here, So I tell him, like, bring him inside. So he brings him inside. We clean his open wounds with some peroxide. Wrap the little guy up in gauze. Like, I'm wrapping this leg up and taping it in this thing. I'm like, keep an eye on him. I gotta go to work. We'll figure it out later, right? So I'm telling my other foreman, Josh, about it. I'm like, yeah, this is what's going on, He said, oh, take them to this place, they're open 24/7. They might work with you on payments. They didn't. So I'm like, okay. So we get home about midnight. I take the cat. He's okay still at the time. I take him, put him in the car. She goes with me, so we go to this animal hospital. It's about 15 minutes away. The lady looks at him. She's like, oh no. She's like, okay, well, let me take him in the back and get him set up and stable. I'll be back to get your info. She's like, yeah, you guys keeping him? I was like, well, that was the plan, but And I was like, so do you guys, since we're gonna keep him, if you guys can fix him? you know, do I gotta pay for this up front? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I don't want to be like, well, this dude told me you guys have payment plans. And she's like, what you gotta do is you gotta go to this thing called Care Credit, sign up for a line of credit, and use that, and you get 6 months interest free. And I was like, oh. She's like, as long as you make the minimum payment for 6 months and pay it off, you get free interest. Oh, okay, shit. So I signed up for it, and of course they're like, oh, sure, we'll give you this. Yeah, sweet, here, have a bunch of money. Yeah. So I tell them, like, yeah, they accepted me. And this is my limit. And they're like, okay, good, take a screenshot of that. I'm like, all right. Well, they end up keeping him overnight. We were there for a couple of hours, so they told us. So we don't get home till like 3 in the morning. Then I get up this morning and I'm like, alright, I gotta fix the belt and the thing. I gotta figure out what's going on with the cat. I gotta go get this title notarized. Good thing I know a notary. Like, I got all this stuff to do today. Let's get it done. So I got a long night last night dealing with this kitten. Now let's have a long day. So I get up, get myself woken up, get my daily monster in me, start doing the thing. I take the bottom off the van, get the rest of the belt out that I can see, because the motor's in sideways in this van. So the belts are over here, not in the front. They're over here on the side, on the passenger side. I take the belts off, and there's like a piece of it that's intact. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I take it to the auto parts store. I'm like, yeah. I tell them what my car is. It's a 2021 Ford Transit Connect. Here's a piece. Here's the belt. What's left of it. The guy's like, okay. Goes in the bag, brings me the belt. He's like, yeah, this one's good enough. You know, it's pretty close. Couldn't find the exact number. I was like, oh, yeah, it is. It works. Okay, cool. Pay for it. Go home. Like, wait a minute. Like, it doesn't fit right. Like, it fits on the bottom, but it doesn't fit all through the thing. So I start looking through the owner's manual. This motherfucker has 2 belts. So it has like a bigger serpentine belt for everything, and then another belt just for the air conditioning pump, I guess. Okay, well, I didn't fucking know that. And that's the little belt he gave me, but it was loose. I'm like, yeah, this ain't tight enough. This ain't right. And there's no tensioner for that. There's no way to like tighten it or whatever. You know, it just is what it is. You just get it on there, and it's as good as you're gonna get it. Yeah, with a big screwdriver or something. But it went on too easy, and I was like, yeah, it's too loose, man. I don't know. So I go back, and I'm like, and I didn't even think to take the other one with me, but I was like, well, I can deal with that tomorrow. I go back, I'm like, yeah, it takes 2 belts. I have the owner's manual in my hand, and I'm telling the lady, like, everything I told the guy. Like, she gives me the belt, this is it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is bigger, okay, I take it home, it's too small. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, at this point, I had already talked to the vet, and they're like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do for him. You know, the surgery is gonna cost like $4,000, or we're gonna have to lop his leg off, and that's gonna cost like $2,000. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, or it'll heal the way it's broken real bad, because both bones in here are broken, and he's gonna have a crooked leg maybe, or it might heal just right because he's so little. He's just a kitten. It might be good. He's like, they're like, or it's gonna heal crooked, and he's gonna be in pain. And you know, I'm like, oh fuck me, right? Like now, and I feel really bad. Like this is all my fault because for one, I put him back outside yesterday. For 2, it might have been my car that did it. Like just everything. Right? Like, oh. So I'm like, okay, they're like, so listen, we're gonna do all these little things to him. We're gonna give him his shots and, you know, check for worms. We're gonna give you dewormer and blah, 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 blah. We're gonna give him flea meds, and then he'll be ready to be picked up around 2. Well, by the time I went to the auto parts store for a second time and went home and figured out it was the wrong belt, it was at like 2:30. I'm like, fuck, man. So my oldest son was around, or my second oldest son was around. So I'm like, all right, buddy, come on, let's go. I gotta go get the cat. He can ride on your lap. You know, we're gonna go, and then we're gonna go to the auto parts store. So I go there. I get the cat. Fucking $1,300 for him to spend the night there, and then to do everything they did. They didn't even fix the leg. They put it in a splint, wrapped it up. They sewed up this arm, like three prescriptions for him. You know, the worm treatment stuff, because he might have worms, I'm not sure. For gabapentin for pain, and then an antibiotic. Like, so they give me these prescriptions, they give me the cat, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to schedule with somebody else for what you're gonna do with the leg, because we don't know what to do with the leg, with the bad leg. I'm like, dude, what the balls, man? $1,300? Like, I got that care credit thing, so that's what they charge. Jesus, man, it's not a person. It's a kitten. It's this big. Weighs 2.56 pounds. Like, tiny. $4,000 for surgery? Like, what the fuck? So we pay for it, and then I got sitting there for like half an hour, 40 minutes before they finally bring them out, because they want to give them a once-over. And then they explain to me all the medicines, and this, that, and the other, and they give me things. And then we leave. I go to the auto parts store, and by this point, I had the paper that's on your window when you buy a car. So I take it into the auto parts store. I'm like, hey, you guys gave me the wrong belts. This one's a little too floppy, and this one's too fucking small. So I'm like, here, look. And the guy's like, oh, I didn't put Connect. I said, I told you, Ford Transit Connect. He's like, yeah, I just put it as a regular Transit. My bad. So the other dude's looking it up, and he was like, oh yeah, both of these are way wrong. These ain't even the right belts. And I was like, I told you that. Then he's like, oh yeah, we don't have them. I'm like, what you mean you don't have them? He's like, we don't have them in stock, man. He's like, I gotta order them, it'll be Tuesday. I'm like, no, I need this shit today. Like, I gotta go to work. I need it now. He's like, sorry, man, I'll give you a refund. I'm like, all right. So he refunds the company card, both belts. Then I call another place. They're like, nah, sorry, man, we don't have them in stock. I don't even have them in my warehouse. So then I call another place, Napa Auto Parts, which I never really used before, but I call them. Yeah, we got the big one, the one that runs the alternator. He's like, but the Avon store has the little one. If you want, I can call them, tell them to get both of them ready, and you can go to Avon and pick them both up. And I was like, I don't have time, man. I gotta go work. Like, if you have that one, I'm gonna come and get it right now, and I'll worry about that little one another day, because it runs the air conditioner, and I don't really need it. Plus, it doesn't fucking work anyway. So I go, grab that belt, take it home, slap it in, like fucking like a glove. It was beautiful. I was like, thank the Lord. Start the van, everything's good. Put shroud back on. Like, now it's like 5:15. Like, I have to leave for work in a half an hour, and I have to stop at the shed to get supplies. Like, I don't, like, ugh. So then I had to call my friend, or my cousin. She's my cousin. She's a notary. And say, hey, look, I need to get this title notarized. I'm not going to be able to make it today. You're going to be around tomorrow. She was like, yeah, I'll be around all day tomorrow. I'm like, thank you. Because I just want to get this shit over and done with. Get this fucking car out of my hair. Don't want to deal with this shit no more. That done and over with. I got this jacked up kitten. Our normal vet just called me where he had his original appointment, and I'm telling them everything. So they got to get a hold of this vet, and I don't know what to do, man. My old lady, she's like, oh, every vet in person that's a vet, or a vet tech that I've talked to, has said it might be best and cheaper to lop the arm, amputate. What everybody says. She is so against it. She says, no, let's let it heal. Well, the way it's broken, it's not going to heal right, and he could be in pain his whole life and not have normal use of his foot anyway. The surgery is so expensive, he can't afford that. So maybe getting it amputated is the way to go. And they all said he'll have no pain as he grows up. As he gets bigger, he'll have no issues only having 3 legs. He can live just fine with 3 legs. He can run and jump and play and do all the things he loves to do with 3 legs. Like, it might just take him a little longer to dig a hole of shit in a litter box or something. You know, I don't know. But she is so against it. $4 grand's a lot of money. I don't have that kind of money. I make decent money. It ain't that decent. Not for a cat. If it was one of the kids, and they were like, yeah, insurance ain't covering this, it's gonna cost you $4 grand to fix his arm. Or cut it off. Fix it. Fix it. I'll go get a loan. I'll do something. Fix it. I'll pay for it. But a kid? I don't know. I was like, should I just go in there at midnight and been like, I found this kitten and he's jacked up and I'm not keeping him? Like, what would they have done? Like, would they have just said like, oh, this is expensive work, let's just euthanize him? Or would they have fixed him and sent him off somewhere? I don't know the answers to these things. But I know if I was a vet, but that's what I would do. I'd be like, look, nobody's gonna pay for this, why am I gonna fix it? Like, put him down nicely, pet it, send him off to the pet cemetery. But I don't know. Like, and then the vet, the people I took him to, they're like, oh, it's so nice, you know. Like, you got him good care. Most people wouldn't do that. And, you know, you're trying to do good for him, but we understand if you can't afford this or that. Like, yeah. Well, I really didn't want to pay $1,300 for him either. I didn't think it was going to be that much. Fuck, man. Since I woke up today, like 10 o'clock, it's been run, take this part, take that apart, run here, run there. Like, wait in line, wait on this, wait on that, run, go. So that's how my day's been. Tomorrow morning I gotta get up and go get this notary taken care of. Damn, this video's been long. Holy shit. So, and then hopefully I can relax for the day. Browns fucked up on Sunday and lost to the goddamn Jets. When you're up by 13 points and you lose to the Jets. What the fuck? Oh, that made me so mad. But yesterday, we beat the Steelers. So kind of like, you know, kind of evens out just a little bit. Alright? So, we'll see what happens. It's a long season. But yeah, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I've bitched and moaned and ranted and raved and whatnot long to fucking enough. This video's almost 25 minutes, so yeah, I got about a half hour to work. I guess I'll find something to listen to. You guys take care. I'll be back next week, you know. Same Rob time, same Rob channel. You guys be good. I'm out.